If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. Number one, it's free. Second, there's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. ANCHOR.fm.
In 3, 2, 1, we are going to talk about self-defense.
Hi guys.
Yes, I am with Atty. Reese, and we are going to talk about self-defense, our personal, personal definition, and then Atty. Reese will provide the legal definition, the legal parameters, and the things that limit an individual to what self-defense is. I really think na this is a very timely and a very this is an episode that will provide a lot of value for people, so that we could really define and how we can utilize self-defense for our daily lives. So,
And not to assume.
Not to assume, yeah.
And not to always claim self-defense as your defense when you do something stupid.
Yes, exactly. Kasi a lot of people get into fights, a lot of people get into trouble, physical altercation. They are either provoked or napikon sila, and then they get into something physical, and then they will always claim self-defense, or they will claim something that would lead to that statement. So now we are going to do our best to define it, and then what can you do with regards to what really is self-defense. Ngayon, prior to the recording of this episode, I googled what self-defense is. So Google or Wikipedia defines self-defense as a countermeasure to a threat to life or bodily harm. It's a very vague na description or definition, pero for me it's incomplete, and it's a very generic definition when it comes to self-defense. So plainly put, when you given that definition, pag self-defense, it's an immediate reaction to something that happened or a threat that is coming to you or coming towards you. So para siyang lumalabas ngayon para siyang reaction. So the general definition, or when you talk about public opinion, it will always be a reaction. And I think that's partly correct. Now, from a martial arts and a combative's point of view, self-defense is indeed a countermeasure. It is a reaction to stimulus that would create an opportunity for you to escape to freedom. For me, especially when I teach self-defense seminars and classes, I always tell students na learning martial arts or learning self-defense is always the first priority is to get a means to escape. Use martial arts, use self-defense techniques to create opportunities for you to flee, to escape, to run away, to get kasi a lot of people have this for some weird reason, feeling nila magiging action star sila pag nag-aral sila ng self-defense, and it romanticizes the idea that they are capable of beating up people. So right off the bat, all my students, I always tell them, learning self-defense will not make you a superhero. It will not turn you into an action star. Learning martial arts the right way, learning self-defense the right way is all about creating an opportunity for you to escape. And once you escape, you really have to get the fuck out and run as far away as possible. Now, when it comes to escalated situations, my friend Virgil put it, he said it perfectly na when it's an opportunity to escape that self-defense, the moment someone touches you, grabs you, punches you, or any grave physical contact, that becomes confrontation. And when you are put into a situation wherein there is a physical altercation or confrontation, by all means you have to protect your life. You have the sanctity of your existence is threatened, so you have to react accordingly. Now,
because a lot of people think that self-defense is like something that they should act upon. I mean, diba, when they encounter a situation, like their initial instinct is I have to fight back. Some people would think I have to escape.
Kaya nga, yun yung kaya educating the masses, educating people the right way is, kasi a lot of these self-defense classes, a lot of these martial arts practitioners and coaches, they focus on the curriculum, they focus on the technique, they focus on the effectivity of what they're teaching without educating their students na pag self-defense, create opportunity to escape. Pag nandun na, take the opportunity to escape. Like, run away, get away. Diba?
Yeah.
First, I'm always looking for the right term, pero as of now, the best term that I came across was neutralize. You neutralize your opponent and then you run away. Kasi baka maya-maya, OA na yung ginagawa mo, napatay mo na yung tao. Diba? So, mahirap din naman yun. So, it's to neutralize your opponent to a certain degree na hindi ka na niya mahahabol. You're not giving them an opportunity to catch you or go after you, and then you run away.
Yeah.
Okay? So now, si Attorney Reese, siya yung ngayon yung magbibigay ng legal definition or ano ba ang what is in the law that would define self-defense.
Okay. So, with regards to self-defense, it's one of the justifying circumstances under criminal law. What does justifying circumstances mean? So it means that a person commits a crime, but he incurs no criminal liability because what he did was justified. And self-defense is one of the defenses that a person can claim when charged with a violation. So, what exactly? However, before you can claim self-defense, you have to satisfy 3 requisites depending on who you are defending. So, if you are defending yourself, you have to prove 1, that there was unlawful aggression. So, unlawful aggression towards you. So, let's say somebody comes at you and then just pinches your cheek. Tapos, hindi ka naman pwedeng maglabas ng kutsilyo, saksakin mo siya agad. Tapos, i-claim mo na self-defense. Even if you don't like your cheek being pinched. Right? But, so, dapat unlawful aggression. So, kunwari, if somebody is coming at you with an ice pick, and then you also take out a knife, and then before he gets to you, stab him, it's unlawful aggression kasi he's coming with a knife. Right?
Ulit. So I come at a person with the ice pick, then the person
with an ice pick, and then I take out a knife and then I stab you.
Oh.
It's counted as self-defense because there is unlawful aggression.
Yes.
Actually, the very fact of pointing a knife or
any sharp object.
Yeah, or pointing a gun at a person is already counted as attempted murder or homicide.
So that's ano na yun, pasok na siya dun sa
kasi,
commensurate aggression.
Kasi when you are pointing a weapon at a person,
you have every intention of using it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a different, and then we will talk about the intricacies of that aspect. Pero with regards to self-defense, yun nga, you need unlawful aggression.
Okay, second
so
point is...
what constitutes unlawful aggression could also be a slap on the face. Because a slap on the face is different because it's like a violation of your dignity.
Okay.
So if you slap someone in the face and that person punches you,
so that's commensurate.
Yeah, that's commensurate to self-defense.
Sapakin ko na lang diretso na. Pero may ibang ano pa pala yan.
Hindi, yun nga, if you slap someone and then that person starts punching you and beats you up, he can claim self-defense.
Okay.
Because slapping someone on the face is counted as unlawful aggression. Kasi it's different, diba? It's different when you just slap somebody on the arm compared to you slap someone on the face.
Okay.
It's very rude, diba? So second point, if you are defending yourself again, there has to be reasonable necessity of the means employed to prevent or repel it. So, let's say reasonable necessity. Let's say somebody comes at you and starts hitting you repeatedly on the arm. You should just tell the person. Yeah, yung nakakainis. So you can just tell the person either you stop or you put your arm up, right? So
or just tell them to stop.
Yeah, you tell them to stop. So, and then if they don't stop, and then you punch them, that's reasonable necessity. It's necessity na. It's a necessity already. Kasi ayaw tumigil eh.
Okay.
Diba? Like it brings me to one of my memories. I had classmates who would bully this girl in the class. Let's call her Mary.
Okay.
So, itong si Mary, ano siya, she has mental disability because she got involved in a motorbike accident.
Okay.
So, she's very slow. Eh, alam mo naman mga Pinoy na,
mga estudyante,
and if they're teenagers.
Mga pasaway.
Yeah, so, there was one time, itong si Mary, she was sitting in the classroom. It was an empty classroom. She was sitting there. We were waiting for our prof. She was sitting there, and then a bunch of my other female classmates went up to her and just started bugging her. Like, yung tipong, they started hitting her table with a, Mary, you're so dumb, or whatever. Yung parang tanga-tanga mo, ganyan-ganyan. Mukha kang abnormal, whatever. And then, so, for a while, she put up with it. And then, when naano na siya talaga, napiko na siya talaga, she stood up, she grabbed one of the girls by the head, and then that girl slipped and hit her head on the wall.
The girl slipped and hit her head on the wall?
Yeah, basta in the heat of everything.
Okay, nagka-scuffle.
There was a scuffle. So, long story short, those bullies got, even if they were claiming na,
they were attacked.
Yeah, that they were attacked. Syempre, on Mary's part, she wouldn't have done any of those
kung hindi siya ginagawa every day.
If hindi siya inaasar or whatever. So, that was the reasonable necessity of the means employed to prevent or repel the bullying. The third one is lack of sufficient provocation on the part of the person who is claiming self-defense.
Ulit.
Lack
of provocation.
Sufficient provocation. Okay. So, in layman's terms, yung bullies na yun, hindi nila pwedeng i-claim, kunwari, if they hit Mary, if they hit her, they beat her up.
Okay.
They cannot claim na, kunwari, if they beat her up, they cannot claim na self-defense, kaya nila siya nasaktan, kasi sila nag-provoke eh. Sila una nag-provoke. So, for example, I am, nilalapitan kita, tinatawag kitang, bakla.
Okay.
Okay, bakla. Tapos, sinabi mo sa akin, tumigil ka. Right? Tumigil ka, and then,
hindi ka pa rin tumigil.
Hindi pa rin ako tumigil, sinuntok mo ko. Sinuntok din kita. Pero this time, ikaw yung nasaktan.
Okay.
Bakla ka eh. Joke lang. No offense against people from the LGBT community.
If you're triggered by this podcast, do not listen to it. We don't care.
Yeah.
We're politically incorrect. Sorry.
So there was a scuffle. I initiated it. You fought back. I fought back.
And then
I won.
You.
I won. Okay. So later on, since ikaw duguan, lapit ka sa police, sabihin mo,
inupakan niya ako.
Physical injuries, ganyan. Tapos, ako naman, hindi ko pwedeng i-claim na hindi. Self-defense. I only hit him kasi sinaktan niya ako. Hindi, kasi ako yung nauna.
Ikaw yung nauna. Hindi naman kayo mag-aaway in the first place kung hindi kayo inaasar.
Precisely. Okay, so that's that. That's if you are defending yourself. Now, it's the same also if you are defending
someone else.
Relatives.
Okay.
Relatives. But if you are defending naman a stranger, you can also claim kasi self-defense if you're defending your relatives.
Tama. Ano tayo? Recap tayo nung 3 na ano.
Okay, first, to claim self-defense as a defense in the event na you get
To
caught,
defend yourself.
or no, you get caught violating, let's say, a crime like physical injuries, let's say murder, whatever. You have to prove these 3 things. 1, there was unlawful aggression
Unlawful
coming
aggression.
at you.
Okay.
Number 2, you did everything you can to prevent or repel it. So you employed reasonable necessity to repel this.
Okay.
Third,
Third?
you did not provoke it. Okay, you did not provoke this person coming at you.
Okay.
Right.
Remember those 3 things, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, now, self-defense when it comes to defending
Relatives.
So relatives, same rules apply, and then it's stranger.
Strangers is just slightly different. But wait, for relatives pala, just in case people are confused, like when do you defend relatives? For example, pagpasok mo sa isang room, somebody's picking on your kid.
Somebody's spitting on your kid.
Picking on your kid.
Picking on your kid. Okay, sorry. Driving.
Diba? Somebody's picking on your kid. And then, another one, pagpasok mo sa room, syempre, kunwari, nire-rape yung anak mo. Hindi ka ba mapapapatay nun?
Okay.
Diba? So, you have to satisfy all those 3 things.
Okay.
Now,
For strangers?
for strangers, there's one slight difference, which is, diba, the first is unlawful aggression, reasonable necessity, and then the third is you were not induced by revenge. Kunwari, you're walking by and then you see an old woman being bullied by a stranger.
Okay, ito, yung I think this is a lot more appropriate. Yung you're walking on a street, you saw a couple fighting, and then the boyfriend is beating up the girlfriend. Can I help the girlfriend?
Yes.
Okay.
Pero yun nga, the third requisite, so unlawful aggression, reasonable necessity. So first, before you hit him, you have to tell him, hey, stop.
Okay.
If he doesn't, then you can hit him.
Okay.
Okay? So after that, the third requisite is you were not induced by revenge. So, what does that mean? Let's say, yung lalaki nakita mo, ano siya? May utang kayo dati.
So kakilala.
Oh. Diba? Or meron kang evil motive against them. So, kunwari, this guy turns out to be somebody who bullied you in high school.
Okay.
And then, you see him, tapos, yan, you took it as an opportunity to beat him up. Okay, you can't do that. And then, one more thing, which you cannot do, is if the aggression has passed, you cannot
and
later
then binalikan
on...
mo.
Oo, binalikan mo. Hindi pwede yun. Kunwari,
bumawi.
Kunwari, ngayon, inaasar kita, sinasabi ko, bakla.
Okay.
Tapos umalis na ako.
Then I waited for a day.
And then you wait, no, or let's say, kahit na 2 hours.
Oh.
2 hours, binalikan mo ko, sinuntok mo ko. You can't do that because there was no unlawful aggression anymore. Remember, when you want to claim self-defense, all these requisites have to be satisfied. Para siyang checklist.
Okay.
Okay, meron ba unlawful aggression? Check. Meron bang reasonable necessity? Check.
Okay.
Wala bang provocation? Check. So if you don't satisfy all these requisites, hindi mo pwedeng i-claim yung self-defense. However, the rules are different when it comes to the battered woman syndrome.
Battered woman syndrome.
Yeah.
Okay, can we define battered woman syndrome?
Okay,
please?
so the battered woman syndrome is as you would
define it.
Yeah, it is how you would read it actually. Battered woman. It's to do with a battered woman. So a battered woman, let's say she is being abused every day, physically.
Okay, so battered wife or battered partner. Okay.
So, or kahit hindi every day, kahit at least twice. According to the rules, at least twice. So, a battered woman, iba kasi yung kanyang pag-iisip.
Oh, iba na yung psychology nun eh.
Sometimes, even if the husband who comes home is not doing anything yet to her, yung utak niya, nakakondition na
Merong mangyayari.
Sasaktan ako nito.
That's true.
So, the battered woman syndrome, if you fall under the battered woman syndrome, if you want to claim self-defense, let's say one day, umano ka lang talaga, you couldn't take it anymore, you killed him.
Because of the trauma and
Yeah,
the
because of
fear,
the trauma.
and then okay.
These three requisites of unlawful aggression, reasonable necessity, and lack of provocation, you need not prove this. You don't need to prove it because you are a battered woman.
So how do they prove that they're battered women?
So typically, syempre, if you are hit, you take pictures. You take you get checked up by
Medical
a doctor.
legal.
Yeah. So para even if you don't have any plans of killing your husband, you have proof na you were a battered woman kaya you killed him because you fall under the BW syndrome.
BW syndrome.
Yeah. So ang kailangan mo lang i-prove na the battered incident must have happened at least twice.
So the minimum is 2.
Minimum is 2.
Fuck. Okay.
Yeah. So and then the court will decide and the court will decide. So if you are proven to have satisfied all the requisites under the battered woman syndrome,
okay,
you don't incur any criminal liability. In
so
short,
you can claim self-defense.
Absuelto ka.
Absuelto ka.
Yes. Yun yung self-defense ng battered woman.
Okay.
So it was one of the proponents of this battered woman syndrome, which falls under the Anti-Violence Against Women and Children law, is a very famous lawyer kasi who herself was a battered woman.
Okay.
So that's why she really pushed for this na everybody was claiming self-defense and then poor battered woman had to satisfy all three requisites. She said no, iba kasi yung pag-iisip ng isang battered woman.
Iba na yung psychology ng ganun.
Yeah. She's always in fear.
Okay.
Of
imagine
her partner.
like living in constant fear na every day you wake up tapos it's either if it's a good day nothing's gonna happen to you, on a bad day you're gonna get beat up.
And also kasi yung battered woman syndrome, and I mean yung the technicalities of a battered woman or in a household, wala kasing battered man eh. Walang battered man rule.
Feeling ko meron, hindi lang nila inaamin.
Yeah.
Medyo medyo lumalabas na rin. There's data proving na there are battered husbands, there are abused men in the household, pero syempre yung society naman natin, our society is not really accepting of such statement as of now. Pero eventually later on we'll find out. Okay. What else?
So the physical violence kasi in a home, it's hard to tell like when is it gonna happen again. Kasi there is the tension building phase, like nag-away kayo. There's acute battering incident. They say it's acute battering incident, that's the term they refer to it, but sometimes, as we all know, it's not acute. Acute kasi means konti lang. Pero sometimes it could be extreme. And then after that, magkakaroon tayo ng loving phase. Yung lalaki, luluhod sa harap mo.
Mag-apologize.
Yakapin ka, sasabihin, I love you.
Pero
And then the cycle will continue.
Yeah.
So you can never tell when he's gonna strike again.
Yep, that's true. So, any other requisites? Any other self-defense
no,
situation?
That's it.
Diba? Kasi now we decided to have this episode for the simple reason that a lot of questions will always start with situational circumstances, like what do I do when this happens? What do I do when this happens? What are my options? And then later on, it evolved into what happens next, what happens after the incident. Na parang a lot of people always get into court battles or pagdating sa merong mangyayari tapos magkakapulisan, they will file reports. Some people will even file lawsuits, and then they realize na okay, they don't meet certain requirements, they don't know the requirements even. Yun yung pinaka this episode is really to educate people on what are the requirements for self-defense and what you can and cannot do. So
kasi if you
mahirap yung iba inaasar lang, di ba nakita nyo sa TV Patrol yung iba, inaasar, napikon, sinaksak.
Yeah, tapos sabihin nila
How about that? Kunyari, napikon, yung sobrang napikon siya, nainis siya, tapos di ba, it's in the news especially yung mga nasa squatter, napikon, sinaksak. So is that self-defense?
No, it's not. You know why? employ reasonable necessity to prevent it. Kung inaasar ka, you leave, you shout back at him, whatever. Pero it shouldn't be your instinct to take out your knife and just stab him.
Okay, now I'm playing devil's advocate here. So, just to satisfy the second criteria, yung ano tawag doon? The necessity?
Reasonable
necessity. So, inaasar niya ako, I told him to stop, hindi siya tumigil. And then...
Leave.
Yun, I left.
Okay.
So, I stood up, I'm leaving. Guy kept following me, still shouting the same thing.
Not enough pa rin.
Not enough
Unless he starts hitting you.
Okay.
Hitting you and like really beating you up, then you can fight back.
How about I stand up, I tell him to stop, doesn't stop. I stand up, and then I tell him to stop, I'm leaving, so umalis ako. So while I'm walking away, sinundan niya ako, tapos inaasar niya pa rin ako. Pwede ko ba siyang suntukin?
Pwede mo ba siyang suntukin?
Okay, hindi na to saksakin, suntukin. I am not gonna stab him, I'm gonna punch him. Diba?
For me, pwede. But
Okay.
it's just that, always remember, in court kasi, you have to prove it. Let's say, nasaktan mo siya. Eh, ang laki ng kamao mo eh.
Hindi ako. Like, this is
okay,
like for,
yeah, I know.
For a regular individual.
Yeah, for a regular individual. Let's say, sinuntok mo siya, so sobrang lakas ng suntok mo, diba there are punches like that eh? They're deadly punches.
Yep.
He got into a coma or whatever. You got charged. You have to prove it. You have to prove na ang kulit niya kasi.
So, I have to have witnesses?
Yes, all these other things. So, that's the other part that not a lot of people get. You can claim whatever defense you want. Okay? You can, kasi may mga tao kasi na parang they'll do something stupid.
Yeah.
They'll do something stupid and then they'll be confident and say, hindi okay lang kasi kung tanungin ako, sabihin ko na lang self-defense. Hindi, it's not that easy. Kasi you have to prove everything.
Diba?
You have to prove na it really was self-defense, which is very difficult. So,
wow.
So just my advice for everybody is you just walk away.
Yeah, you walk away. Pero syempre, you have to understand
tell the authorities.
Diba? You have to understand na there are people who are really, really, really fucking annoying.
Yeah.
Kasi yung nakakapikon talaga.
Yeah.
So ngayon, yung also, di ba, I assumed, I hope na there was like some clause na they would understand na syempre pag sobrang nakakapikon, ikaw naman hindi ka nakapagpigil, 'di ba? Kasi that's the thing, sasabihin nila those are words, pero example, sama ng araw mo tapos inasar ka nito, 'di ba? There are psychological triggers to that, but apparently wala pala, di ba?
Wala, you still
you're
have
not
to
covered.
employ
You have to
reasonable
employ,
necessity.
you have to,
So if you can walk away, magsumbong ka sa barangay, magsumbong ka kay Tulfo.
ayun, the whole barangay and the authority, di ba, parang ang pangit din naman kasi na parang,
Magsusumbong ka pa.
Di ba, nagsumbong ka pa. Ang mangyayari kasi doon, it's gonna, these are going to be pent-up aggression. Iipunin mo yan eh. Sama ng loob yan eh. Iipunin mo yan. Tapos, susunod na makita mo yung lalaki, tapos inasar ka niya, puputo ka na lang. Kasi these are things that are happening. Di ba? Especially in certain parts of, di ba, like, yung mga, what do you call it? Anong tawag dyan sa mga ganyan? Especially yung mga lower income bracket, lalo tsaka yung mga tamad. Wala yan. Ang gagawin lang yan, either iinom yan buong araw or mga aasar yan buong araw. Kasi for example, ayan like for yung especially yung mga namamalimos, 'di ba? Namamalimos, hindi mo sila bibigyan, tapos babasagin nila yung salamin mo. 'Di ba? Pag inupakan ko ba 'yun, can I say self-defense kasi pinato niya yung sasakyan ko eh.
Yeah.
Pwede.
You can.
Diba? Kasi,
pero yun nga, diba?
Kasi damage to property is like, kasi for me, damage to my property could mean
it's counted.
Diba? What if the window was not there? Diba? What if the window was not there? Yung bato na yun, diretso sa mukha ko. Diba? And then, there are a lot of kids, there are a lot of beggars that are there, diba? ang mga pulubi ngayon, entitled na.
Unfortunately,
Diba?
kasi alam mo naman dito sa injustice system sa Philippines, sometimes, even if that was the truth, but there's no evidence to back it up. Diba?
Yeah.
Kaya nga everybody's getting those dash cams na eh.
Oh, okay. Kasi yun yung ano nila. Like, for evidence.
Yes.
Diba? Kasi parang, I'm like, okay, when I had a better understanding of these things, parang sabi ko, okay, not everyone knows this. That's why we have to keep educating people, and we have to understand na there are prerequisites, there are requirements that have to be met in order to claim self-defense. Now, when we relate that to learning martial arts or learning any self-defense art, okay, it's all about neutralizing your attacker. It's all about neutralizing and creating opportunities to escape. I highly discourage people who will, diba, they will neutralize, they will start beating up their assailants. Basta, well, personally ako, sige, upakan nyo hanggang gusto nyo, tapos tumakbo na kayo, umalis kayo. So, at least, you created an opportunity to escape, diba? Just, one of the things that I really want.
Upakan talaga eh.
Hindi, kasi, basta ako, when it comes to self-defense, you create an opportunity to escape, but at the same time, you don't allow your attacker to follow you. Kasi syempre, yung iba naman dyan, di ba? Parang, ang tawag dito? Assailant. So, may self-defense situation, di ba? Yung victim, they will be able to neutralize their opponents, pero, pagka naka-recover yung assailant, hahabulin niya yun. So, dapat at least subdue and neutralize. That's why I like that word. Every time I teach it, like, you have to neutralize your opponent. Do not give them an opportunity to go after you. Kasi kung hindi, mag-iiba na naman yung situation, mag-iiba yung, we don't know what will happen. Diba? So, everyone, I hope this episode really enlightened a few things. When I post this, I really encourage people to leave a comment, or if you have any other questions, hopefully we can do more research. Attorney Reese here can answer your queries in the comment section. So thank you so much for listening. Thank you to Knots and Crosses, the best jiu-jitsu gear and MMA gear out there. Bottle Boy PH, they bring the party to you. Okay, you just follow them and call them on Facebook and Instagram. They have their contact details there. You order from them, and I guarantee you best price out there. Tapos thank you to Awon Coffee. I'm a coffee addict. I love coffee, so I order my coffee sa Awon Coffee. That's AWON Coffee. Their story is very remarkable. Go check them out on Facebook and Instagram. Locally sourced, ethically sourced coffee beans, very good flavor. And then I'd like to greet my ground family. Okay, thank you for listening to the podcast. Thank you for supporting. Hopefully, especially my brethrens from the provincial chapters, wherever you are, I hope someday na if I get to travel to your provinces, I'll get to train with you. So everyone it's actually, they call it ground.
Okay, yeah, okay.
We call it the ground family. Okay? These are like Masons and
Wala
Demolists.
naman akong sinabi.
Hindi. Kasi parang nagtaka parang ground. Yeah,
No, I didn't.
Facebook group kami. Facebook group. Mga friends ko yun. Magagaling, mababait tong mga to. Magagaling. Okay, so, that's it.
Okay, bye guys.
Riding in Cars with Reese episode. Coach Franco Says, thank you. Bye-bye.